Okay, so today we have an 820-3115, which was fixed, and the customer went to pick it up, and I went to turn it on, and it didn't post. And we open the lid. See, it's still not posting. We can turn this on a couple times. Let's shut this off, holding the power button down. Come on, shut off. Good, shutting off. Hit the power button again. The light comes on, but no post. So sometimes if I get lucky, let's unplug the battery. Let's plug in the charger. And this is going to be a very short stream also, because I want to get home before the roads are iced up, because it is snowing and it is cold. Okay, so see, we got a post there. Now, typically stuff like this, you don't blame the battery. See, it's working on battery. Let's cycle it again. Typically what this is going to be, especially with the history of this board, so let me give a rundown. Head corrosion by the SMC. I reflowed the SMC ultrasonic to see now it's posting. And then I got it back, didn't turn on, so I reflowed the SMC again, and then it worked, and now it's doing this. So the SMC chip is probably fine itself. So the SMC is probably fine. It's probably just has a ball or something under there that just is not right. So what we're going to do is reball it, and that should solve most of our issues. This is one of the rare cases that an SMC reball will actually work. A lot of times it doesn't. A lot of times it's a nonsense step. But I think in this case that this is exactly what this board needs. So let's go ahead and quickly do this. Travis is here. Aaron is here. Trader is here. Who else is here? Luis is here. I think this is Luis, yeah. Lewis, okay. To quickly do this. I only came back to the shop for chance because I remembered I left my space heater on and I didn't want that burning down the shop. So I came back and I decided I'm here. Let's fix a MacBook. Especially since the people came today and it didn't work, and it's like, what? Why? Because it worked fine in testing. It passed the Apple Service Diagnostic. Everything was perfectly fine. I go to test it. No post. Right when they walked in, too. It's like, come on, why? Yeah, at least I didn't get home with it absolutely right. That's 100% worse. I'm ditching these labels. I'm going to a barcoded one that looks different. I don't like these. They're too flashy. It's just a barcoded one that'll say TCRS, RFB, MLB, QC Pass instead of refurbished logic board and all that. To me, these look shady. I don't know why. They just look shady. These stickers. I mean, your work should always be marked. That's the thing. How do you know if they put a different board in it? You know, and the nice thing about these is you peel them and it leaves a nice mark on there. The new ones do the same thing, because sometimes you'll get people trying stuff with you. You know, they'll take the board out and think you won't notice that you put a different one in that has corrosion all over it, you know. Okay, so here's our board. Let's quickly do this. Let's pull the SMC. We have to do this quick. Let's hope our microscope camera works. Our microscope camera does indeed work. Let's turn the light on the microscope camera on so we can see. Let's locate the SMC. Notice how there's edge bonding here. Sometimes that happens. It doesn't come off cleanly. In this case, there's probably a little piece of edge bonding under one of the solder balls, preventing it from posting. SMC is a cause of many posting issues. Let's go ahead and put a little amount of flux, because we're not going to ultrasonic this again, because it's already been ultrasonic twice. Let's put a little amount of flux around it. And Let's turn on our hot air station because hot air is required to take the SMC off. Let's turn on our soldering iron because soldering iron is required to clean the board after we pull the SMC off. Let's get the right tip for the hot air station because this little tiny tip will not work. Let's turn on our hot air again because I had to shut it off so I didn't burn myself. Set it to 430, 120 liters per minute of air. Let's heat the SMC from far away. You don't use Lewis's LUZ, do you? I don't know what that means. I wish I knew what that meant. Flux. I do use NC559, but I do prefer NC560 for stuff like this because it's easier to clean. And in this case, I see everything looked pretty good under here. There's just maybe a little bit, I don't know. I don't see any remaining edge bonding that could have caused this, but we're going to do it anyway. So I still think this will remedy the issue. And if it doesn't, then I'll be very sad because then I'll probably have to replace the SMC. I don't want to have to replace the SMC. Christian is here. Let's grab our soldering iron. Let's get some clean up the excess lead free because that'll make it really hard to wick. Let's grab our wick. Let's wick these pads. Clean it up and have a better look. Nice clean SMC. Now there's no more edge bonding that could cause issues. All the pads look pretty good, and yeah, looks pretty good to me. Let's grab our SMC now. Let's prepare the SMC to be reballed. And let's reball the SMC and put it on. Here's our SMC. Let's inspect it for delamination, corrosion, any other goodies. And we can see it looks perfectly fine. Maybe this wasn't the issue. Intermittently posting. This had liquid damage near the clock chip. Let's change the clock chip as well. We already have this off. I'm curious. I'll try this without it and see if it does. Then I'll replace the clock chip after. So let's go ahead and clean this up. One second. I think I hear somebody outside screwing around. Stuff. I don't like to use a lot of heat on the SMC because it could delaminate. Once it delaminates, you're really pushing your luck if it's going to work or not. They work sometimes, sometimes they don't. So yeah, don't delaminate your SMC. Be gentle with it. Use enough heat, but not too much. That's nice and clean. Hi Jeff, how's it going? And the person with the last name Calderon, I don't know how to say your last name or your first name. Brian C is here. Okay, we're going to put this SMC to the side. Well, let's go grab a stencil. In the meantime, let me get some solder paste out and drying. I don't want to use wet paste, although it should probably go fine with wet paste. I don't want to deal with it not going fine with wet paste. Inicio. I'm really bad at names. My brain, I don't have a normal brain. Ignacio. I don't know. My brain is really bad at simple stuff. It really is. I can fix the motherboard, but I can't do a lot of simple stuff. Don't see an L here, repair should work. Do not call an L. Do not mention an L. Do not even think about an L. And we should be fine. Alright, so I have a little bit of solder paste here. What I do to dry this out quick is I am going to get this right here. See, it's on a paper towel. I am going to set my hot air to 100. And I'm going to heat this. It's going to melt it, and eventually it's going to burn the flux out of it. You'll start to see it get dry. See that? It's probably really hard to see, but it's starting to dry up. See that? It's dry now. Let's find where I put my stencil last time. Where did I put my stencil? SMC, where are you? SMC. There's a container labeled SMC here. Here we go, SMC. Do you have a stencil in you, though? You have a lot of SMCs from different boards, but do you have a stencil? You do have a stencil in here. I closed the store early today because of the weather. And then I wanted to come back. Never close your store early. Closing your store early is just depressing. Not working on a MacBook every day is depressing. I took yesterday off. I'm about ready to go insane. I don't know how people tolerate time off. It's such a weird concept. Who even does that? Who even takes time off? It's weird. Sonia's here. Alright, I'm going to clean the stencil off with air and heat. Get any solder balls that are lurking in there out of it. Here is our stencil. Now remember, we don't tape these down anymore. What we do is we line this up. Nice and easy, right? Lined up. Put a little tiny bit of flux here in the center. Just a little bit. Just like that. That's just going to give it a little bit of stickiness. It's going to prevent it from going anywhere after it's lined up. We're going to grab our little tool that we use to spread the solder paste on the stencil. But dead CPU, have fun. Bye. Oh no. Alright, chat. Who's gonna win? Lethal one or me? I'm not gonna let that guy win. He wins too much. Coming up on a new year, we cannot lose to a Nell anymore. Let's grab some solder paste. And what I do is I get my tweezers, since it's all lined up, I hold it in place, and we can push the solder paste in the stencil. Keep it from moving the best we can. Are you kidding me? Somebody is calling me. 1 second. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. Alright, let's catch up on chat. Which present did you send it? Anel, you never saw it. Anel will have a very nice present in the mail. Yes. Good people get good presents. Good people get good presents made by dogs. I think we could figure out what's going to Anel. Anel deserves his gift thoroughly. He's been a good friend. Alright, I have a suspicion this right here is not solder paste. It's just something coated in solder paste. Oh no, it moved. No. Alright, this is probably not going to go well. No, my fighting with Anel is not serious. We're friends. We're not. I'm not really fighting with him. Except when I meet him in person, but we'll probably have a little fight then, but I usually never tape these down, but this one is being annoying. I probably should have taped this particular one down. Bailey is here. Finally, Bailey gets to see one of my streams. We're probably going to screw this up, and that's okay. I'll screw things up in life, especially SMCs. Alright, here goes nothing. Hot air set to 300 Celsius. 292 is fine. What paste do you use? It's some cheap junk from China. Wait, first I have to clean this. Here we go. Here goes nothing. It is not even close to being lined up. Or is it? Let's let that harden. And then we'll put it on the board, fix the board. See, these balls are still liquid, believe it or not. Like if I were to touch one of these, see, it's still liquid. That's okay though. after it hardens. Sometimes we could harden it by putting a little flux too, but it's pretty much done. So we're going to flip it over. We're going to grab the chip. Like this. We're going to grab the chip. We're going to lift up on the chip. And if it doesn't want to come up, then we can turn our hot air on, 100 Celsius, and just heat it a little bit. Don't need anything too crazy, you just need a little heat. It's only being held in by the flux. I screwed up on this in my first one. It's like, why is it stuck in the stencil? Why won't it come out? It's just held in by the flux. So we should be able to, if we get a good pair of tweezers, lift it right out. Or when that fails, 10 seconds or so in the ultrasonic. The big ball between the chip and the stencil. No, there is not. You were wrong. This chip is fine. So I think it'll be fine. You still don't want to come up. Why don't you want to come out? Annoying stencil. Good. So whenever this happens and it's really annoying, it's because the flux in the solder paste is just hardened and just not very good quality. So what we can do is just add a little bit of Amtech NC 560 or equivalent, whatever you use. Put it around here, heat it. And after we reflow the balls again, it will be fine. No, SMC is not going to get damaged like that. Yeah, the silicone is actually really narrow in there. You're not going to damage it like that. I've done this many times. Let it cool, and now we should be able to let it out just fine. It's still too hot. Okay, now let's try again. Let me clean the flux off the stencil so it doesn't get all over my mat. Who wants a mat full of flux? Not me. And what do you know? It came right out that time. See that trick? And to the people that said that there is balls stuck in the stencil, you are wrong. There is a couple balls that are missing though, which is not a big deal. So there's one here, and there's one here. There's 3. That happens occasionally, not a big deal. Let's go ahead and scrape a little bit on that pad. No, there's actually a few. Okay, so what we're going to do, see if there's any balls left in our stencil, and there is not, so we will get fresh. And these are 0.40, 0.35, I think. But 0.40 should work. So we're going to clean this up. Or another trick, if you ever need solder balls of the right size in a pinch and don't have the other balls, what you can do is this. Watch this. Watch this little trick. Let's grab our stencil thing, our tool. Look at all those perfect solder balls of the right size now. It went out of focus because the mat expanded. Let's go back over to our actual SMC, zoom in. Scrape away any little oxidation that may be there. Move our ball over. It's those 4. We're not too good. We're going to go at 220, so really low airflow. Rob is here. I agree, Facebook is the plague. Much reason to be angry. This is annoying that it keeps going out of focus. Let's grab another ball. Place it here. Zoom in again. It's in focus. That is down there. Now there's a couple that we have to take care of because these are not the right size. So this one is not the right size. This one is not the right size. Now what we can do, we can put 2 of the right size ones there. And we'll have a happy little SMC ready to be put back on the donor board. Let's grab another little ball from our stencil here. Just lift up our mat. And we could probably get them better from this side. Yep. Or we could push it through. Either way. They can be annoying when they get stuck inside the stencil. Perfect, right here. Put you down there, and you look a lot smaller than you should be. No, this is not in focus for me either. You're too small. You look like you're the right size. Come on. One more. Two more. That one may end up being too big. We may have to redo it. We'll see when we get it down there. Nope, it's perfect. That's that. There's one more up here. Right there. Is the solder ball. We're good. Everything else looks good, I think. Could use a little cleaning, which we're going to do before we put it on the board. So let's put some alcohol down on it. So wait, because I don't want to thermally shock it and delaminate it. Let's grab our toothbrush. I'll slowly start adding alcohol to the edge here. That way the chip can cool a bit. Let's have a look. Now the chip is dry and it looks perfect. Well, not perfect, but it looks okay. It looks like it'll be a happy little working SMC. Let's go ahead and prep our board, place the chip on the board, and solder it on the board and see if our board still has issues or if it resolves. So here's our So I like the minimalist amount of flux possible when doing these, because too much flux, it's going to run away. So yeah, if you put too much flux, it's going to make it really hard to do this. So what I like to do is just put a little bit, like a little bit, I mean, like that. We could use our tweezers and spread it out. It makes the job so much easier when it just stays and doesn't move around. Need a little bit more than that though. There, should be enough. Also, I'm going to look at these traces. Do these look cut? No, their conformal coating is just scraped off. They're fine. So here's our chip. Here's our board. Here's our new chip. Not our new chip, but our reballed old chip. Place it down. I think that's pretty good on alignment. I believe that is soldered. Now let's see if our intermittent posting issue is fixed. First, let me check radar and see how bad the storm is getting. About the same. Also going to plug everything else in because sometimes there can be an external issue causing it not to post. Like CD drives can do it. They talk to the... Anything SATA can sometimes do it. Rarely, really rarely. Trackpad sometimes. Screens, possibly. If you get a short in the right place. But otherwise, yeah. All that stuff is rare. That keyboard backlight. Keyboard backlight's not going to do a darn thing. Everyone knows that. So is keyboard. Keyboard's not going to do anything. We'll plug it in just so we have a power button. Battery. You're going to post. Are you even going to fan spin, little board? You're even going to fan spin. What is wrong with you, little board? Did I do a bad job? No. You have fan spin. And we post. The battery's probably too dead to go off of the... Start up the battery. Let's see. Does it turn on off the battery? Holding power button down. Let's try again. We get no power off battery, which makes me think... Let's try the power pads. That probably means the battery is too dead to turn on off the power supply. So what we're going to do is plug in our test drive. Why is there tape over the webcam? I don't know. It's not my computer. Can you boot into my test drive? No, I don't have it's not a warranty void sticker. It just says ticket number and refurbished logic board. I'm getting a new one. Yeah, almost everybody does that. This thing is indeed quite old. It is a 2012. Actually, this is a newer than 2012. They sold this from 2012 to 2016. This is more like 2016. Well, 2012 to 2016, because the little holder right here was black, and they do that. I mean, they sold this thing. Okay, you don't see the battery. You don't even see the battery, do you? Don't even see the battery, do you? Rage quit. 12.26 volts. Was that in frame? Alright, so what this tells me is that the SMC was dead all along and that it wasn't posting off of the battery because something was wrong in the SMC's battery detection circuitry. Let's see if we have another SMC for an 8203115 board. Probably not, because no SMC, no SMC, no SMC, no SMC, no SMC. No SMC, no SMC, no SMC, no SMC, no SMC. Yeah, out of luck, no SMCs. So what this means, I have to order a donor board. Or see if I have any here. Let's see. 3476. 3437. 4924, 3662, 00165, question mark, 3208. Lovely. So we are out of 8203115 SMCs. Just what I want. Let's see. Does reflowing it again do anything? Don't do what I'm doing right now. Take the machine out of the enclosure, please. This is why you don't let a Nell on your stream. You care about fixing the board. Rarely a battery indicator can cause this. I don't think so, though. Yep. Let's try without a battery indicator just for the heck of it. Let's try it again. Plug battery in. Nope. Nothing. Okay, so I'm going to have to order an SMC for this. Let's try one more time. We'll plug it in. Yeah. Anel really sucks. You know that? Because this wouldn't happen if Anel didn't join my stream. Wait. Is my brain working? Still 12.26 volts. Okay. Rage quit.